Hey everybody, I am under the front portico of Steed Hall, and today we're going to talk about Fatsia japonica, or Japanese Fatsia. The leaf arrangement is alternate, the leaf form is simple, and the leaf margin is serrated and lobed. So you can see these are dramatically lobed leaves, very large. You see the size of my hand? And then the lobes are serrated. It is considered a shrub. It's broadleaf and evergreen. Height is most often small. You do find these tend to be in that 6 feet or less. I have seen some very old specimens that top above that, but they get a little leggy looking. I think they're best maintained in that small category, the 6 foot or less zone. Height is rounded to irregular. Form is rounded to irregular. Soil preferences, it tolerates a wide variety, but it prefers acidic soils with high organic matter. Not so picky about moisture, although these grown in pots here under the front portico require regular watering. And for pruning, I noted it's minimal. This is a plant that it's somewhat difficult to prune. You're not going to head shear this. If anything, you're going to plunge prune to control the size. So you might cut some of these stems to control the size and to encourage branching. But I would say avoid at all costs if possible, because oftentimes those pruning cuts, it's hard to disguise them and they look a little ugly for a while until the plant flushes with new growth to camouflage them. But it will promote a bushier plant. Growth rate is considered average. Exposure to light is partial to shade. Most people consider this a shade plant. Climatic hardiness zone 7 to 9, so this is definitively a southern plant. Landscape uses: foundation planting, naturalized setting, groupings and masses, a specimen, as I've got here, as a container garden plant or as a house plant. Just like heterohelix, this is one that we can use as a house plant as well. So it's kind of very diverse, but it's really common in the shady woodland garden. That's where this has probably its most popular use, which would be a naturalized setting. Flowers are showy. They happen in the fall. They are a creamy white umbel, which is a round shape or a round cluster of many little flowers. The fruit is profuse. It's a drupe. A drupe has a single seed inside the fruit. It's blue to black, 1/3 of an inch, and it's not edible. Autumn color is not applicable. Leaf texture is coarse. Other leaf details: these leaves are very leathery to the touch, very tropical looking. I've only included one cultivar. It's called Variegata. Variegata, as its name implies, has a variegated leaf where it has white lobe tips, and most of your margins, which are the edges, tend to be white in color. No serious pests and diseases. Not NC native, not US native, not invasive. It is salt tolerant. Leathery leaves lots of times are salt tolerant. It's also tolerant of air pollution, and it responds well and quickly to fertility. So if this is looking a little meager, you can fertilize it and expect to get some good results from that fertility. References: Dur, page 428. As I said, there's a pair of them here under the front portico, although this is their second year, so it's time for them to find a home in the landscape. There are also a couple in the hillside garden by the second bridge from the top, under the ginkgo. So there are a couple in the hillside that you can observe there as well. Thanks.